Cowboys, they crushed the Buccaneers last night. It wasn't close. It truly was not close. They controlled the game in the trenches, both sides of the ball. Dak Prescott, I think he was sacked once on like one of the first two drives. I think it was drive number 2 by Vita Vea. But after that, he wasn't pressured much at all. He had all the time in the world. Just going through his stats, he had 5 total touchdowns. He had a rushing touchdown, 4 passing, 25 for 33, 305 yards. He looked really good. I've always thought he was a top 10 quarterback, and I still agree with that. This helps my case. I think that his playoff struggles have been very over-exaggerated, I think is probably the right word. Like in the playoffs, again, he doesn't have like great stats. Now he has 10 passing touchdowns, 3 interceptions in 5 playoff games. But I mean, you go back and you look, and 2016, he put up 31 points versus Aaron Rodgers, and their defense just couldn't get a stop. 2018, he played well versus Seattle in that playoff run. He had 2 touchdowns and 1 pick. And if you go back and you watch that interception, not really on him. Not really on him. It should have been called defensive pass interference. Last year, he did not play well. I'll give you that one. Sacked 5 times, 53% completion percentage. Again, bad interception. If I remember correctly, it's in the end zone. But Dak Prescott last night showed you way closer to what he is than what we've been seeing over the past however many weeks in terms of turnovers. Like, I think that it's been extremely, extremely overblown how bad his turnover issues have been. It truly. But last night, he played, I think, the best game of his career. The best game of his career. I think this is the second time in his career he's had 5 touchdowns. The only other time was at the end of the season last year versus Philly. He played really well. That first drive, after those first 2 drives, I didn't know if he was going to be able to bounce back from that. But he played extremely well. And I think that building more out about the Cowboys, I don't think that they're going to beat San Francisco. I'm not going to pick them to, but I think they're the only team in the NFC that can. They're relatively healthy. Jaron Kearse seems to be okay. Haven't heard what the official injury is, but the reports are that he was walking fine to the locker room. Didn't look like he had a limp or anything like that. If they can stay healthy, I think that they have as good of the best shot of anyone in the NFC to take down San Francisco. We saw this matchup last year. Granted, they feel like 2 different teams. They didn't have Christian McCaffrey last year, obviously. Dallas had Amari Cooper last year. The 49ers are a better team this year. I think they have a better quarterback in Brock Purdy, although he didn't look particularly spectacular. But I truly think that the Cowboys have as good a shot as anyone to take them down. Their run defense is going to be what could cause them problems, but I think they're the only offense in the NFL that can truly hang with the 49ers if the 49ers get rolling on offense. I realize that their defense is good, but since Dak returned from his injury, they've put up 24, 49, 28, 40, 28, 54, 27, 34, 40, 27. They put up a really bad showing and put up 6 points against Washington, but that game has been the outlier. It's been an outlier. Since he's returned, they're scoring. I think they're the number 1 scoring offense. And they looked like the most efficient offense last night, too. Out of all the playoff teams. I think the only team that scored more was Buffalo. But Buffalo didn't look how Dallas looked. Buffalo did not look how Dallas looked. Dallas was fairly balanced, maybe not, split right down the middle, but, they were they weren't just 100, they weren't just throwing the ball all over the field. Only 33 pass attempts for Dak Prescott, whereas there were 66 pass attempts for Brady. 66 pass attempts. But you take a look at Dallas's weapons too. Like T.Y. Hilton was fantastic in the game. He only had 2 catches, but they came, I think both of them got him first downs, or at least I think he had a 14-yard catch and a 9-yard catch. So first down and 1 yard shy of a first down. And I think that catch might have been on 1st and 10. Dalton Schultz finally, has started to break out. He finally has started to break out towards the end of this season. He's been spectacular in the later half of the season once Dak Prescott has been back. He had 2 touchdowns on Thanksgiving versus the Giants, 2 touchdowns versus Tennessee, 2 touchdowns again last night. This was a season high in receiving yards, got 95. But he's looked better. He looked better in that game than he did all season, especially that scramble drill play. I think that they have a very good shot with the weapons that they have. CeeDee Lamb was, I don't want to say non-existent last night, but he wasn't even a main part of their game plan, it looked like. And they still put up 31. CeeDee Lamb only had 68. He only had 4 catches, only had 6 targets. Michael Gallup had the same amount of targets and had more catches. Like CeeDee Lamb didn't feel like he was part of the game plan, and they still put up 31 against what is a good Tampa Bay defense. They're not great. They're not a great defense, but they're a good defense.